Nightmare on Elm Street was released in 1984 and was directed by the late great Wes Craven, starring Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, Ronnie Blakely, Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, and Johnny Depp in his film debut. The plot follows 4 teenagers living on Elm Street in the fictitious town of Springwood, Ohio. They are invaded and killed in their dreams, and thus killed in reality, by a burnt killer with a bladed leather glove. Before we dive headfirst into this review, I'm going to enlist a little help from my good buddy, Video Creep.
First and foremost, dude, thank you so much for letting me on your channel. This fucking rules. I'm not on my channel. It's always nice when I get to go other places. Nightmare on Elm Street, for me, it's the same as you, man. It's a total fucking nostalgia treat. I get to fucking dig back into that place where I was as a kid and just really love the shit out of these movies. Freddy Krueger at the time, he was just so innovative. We had never seen anyone like him with his fucking swag, his fucking hat, and the claws on his hand. And the fact that he was in this dream world and had the capabilities to get you while you were sleeping, that's fucking amazing. And it's fucking trippy. It's one of the necessities that you need as a human being is to sleep. So the fact that this demon can come in and fuck you up when you're honestly at your most vulnerable, it's fucking shitty. And he preys on that, and it's really something that made him a staple in this movie. We get to see ourselves through the character of Nancy, who is just a teenage girl who's kind of doing her own thing. And really, she doesn't deserve it. She seems like a good girl. We don't see her like fucking drinking every weekend or anything. She's the all-American girl next door. So to see him go after someone like that, it really lets you know if you're a shitty person, it absolutely can happen to you. As far as the characters in this movie go, I really dig the entire friend group. I think Tina is rad, and I love the misdirection of maybe Tina being the final girl, and then somewhere towards the middle of the movie, we get to see Nancy as the final girl. Johnny Depp in this is a treat, especially if you're looking back and you're listening to this in 2020. It's awesome to see him young in this movie. The only character that I kind of have beef with is like the mom. I don't know what it is about her. For someone who was so important to the ending of this film, she just did nothing for me, and I hate her fucking face. Maybe it's a makeup thing, I don't know, but fucking cake for days, and I couldn't stand her. So of course at the end of the movie when we lose her, I don't feel it. I would say that's the biggest con to this movie, which is ironic as well, because most of the time you go back and the first movie is the movie that you care the most about. However, this one kind of misses the mark in that way for me. Not to say that I don't enjoy it, love this movie, have many good memories with the film, but if I had to go into watching a Freddy film, I'm going Dream Warriors all day, and I know I'm not the only one with that.
Thanks for that, Video Creep, and some really interesting points as well. A Nightmare on Elm Street holds a very special place in my heart. It's the very first horror film I ever saw at the age of 4 years old, and it's a film that has stuck with me ever since. And it's the film that introduced me to horror and my love of horror films. In my opinion, this is Wes Craven's masterpiece. His direction in this film is immaculate. From the lighting, the tone, and how all of the characters are written, to the slowly unsolving of the mystery of who Freddy Krueger is and why he's invading these teenagers' dreams, along with the greatest final girl of all time, in my opinion, Heather Langenkamp as Nancy Thompson. She's the quintessential girl next door, but she's also got this amazing story arc and this hero's journey. She's already strong-willed from the beginning, as well as being a fully fleshed out character, but as her friends start to die around her, and she's uncovering the truth as to who Freddy Krueger is, and ultimately fighting back, pulling Freddy out of the dream world into reality, and eventually turning her back on him and taking his power away. And speaking of Freddy, I have to talk about the incredible performance by Robert Englund. Freddy Krueger is synonymous with horror. He's like one of the universal monsters like the Mummy, Dracula, or Frankenstein. He fits in well with that pantheon of classic monsters. And Robert Englund gave Freddy Krueger a personality that the slashers of the time didn't really have. And out of all the different incarnations of Freddy throughout the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, this is easily my favorite version of Freddy Krueger. He's still bathed in a lot of darkness. We know enough about him to know why he's doing what he's doing. That's enough to make you fear Freddy Krueger. For me, A Nightmare on Elm Street gets an instant classic. I absolutely love this film, and I think besides the ending, which does feel a bit tacked on, the film is perfection. This is one of those films that I can put on at any time and enjoy just like I did the first time I saw it when I was 4 years old.
And dude, you totally beat me to it. This is absolutely an instant classic as soon as you watch it. But I'm not gonna bite off you, alright? I'm gonna do my own thing here. And I think equally, you gotta add this to your collection. There's no self-respecting horror fan that doesn't own a copy of Nightmare on Elm Street. If you respect yourself and you respect the horror genre, you gotta have this nearby.
Big thank you to Video Creep for joining me on this video. Be sure to go and check out his channel. I've left a link down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel even more, check out my Patreon page. Link down in the description below. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Hey, Nancy! No running in the hallway.